I'm always looking for ways of improving the Tech Summit Studio, and I was using a setup that I honestly hated dealing with when it came to my audio in the past. So I used to use a Rode SmartLav Plus with a very specific required extension and a stupid converter for my Tascam DR40, plus the external recorder that I literally just mentioned. I used to have to sync everything up, and the battery life on this recorder is absolutely atrocious, and it only takes AA batteries. I never reviewed it, and I never plan to either. I never reviewed it, but that's essentially the short version. I just knew that I really needed a different solution. And so I went for a boom mic, and not just any boom mic, but I got the Rode VideoMic Studio kit. There were barely any reviews on it on YouTube at first when I was searching for one, so I figured that I would go ahead and give it a try. So let's dive in. First off, this kit includes a stand, a balancing stick, as I like to call it, and the microphone itself. There's also a super long extension cable. I don't know exactly how long. It's very long though, and they can be used as a standalone shotgun mic to mount on your camera as well if you really wanted to, but I prefer to keep it on the boomstick as I really prefer the boom setup overall. The base is hefty, and overall everything is built pretty well, and it's a much lighter setup than it might appear to be at first, but hey, it works out just fine. So essentially, all I do is set everything up by lowering the microphone as close as possible to my mouth without it showing in the frame, which is exactly what I'm doing here. And you've got yourself two options for recording. You just have the on switch, but if you go further than that, then there's the 80 Hz mode. This mode is particularly used, or at the very least meant, to try and keep out external noise at least as much as possible. You've been listening to the quality of this microphone the entire time, and I really love it because it's bassy and it's very good for my tone of voice in particular. I already have a pretty deep voice, so this microphone really emphasizes that, whether it's at its normal setting or at its 80 Hz setting. And the preamps on my Sony a6400 are set to -12 decibels as well, so do keep that into consideration. Notice that the sound is very focused. There are people moving around upstairs on a wooden floor, and I could definitely hear it creaking. However, this microphone would not pick it up, and I think that that's something that's pretty awesome. So I can pretty much record at any time I want. I don't have to wait until anybody out of the house or just not making any kind of noise. I'm free to record whenever I want because this is that good of a microphone. However, I've been having issues with hissing in regards to this microphone. Sometimes I get really heavy hissing, in spite of which setting I use, but sometimes there's just a little bit of hiss or almost no hiss at all. And it's pretty tough to predict why, and if you have any kind of suggestions that could possibly help me fix that, then I would absolutely appreciate seeing that down in the comments, as this is one of the first times that I review a microphone like this. I decided to just stick with the regular setting because I've noticed that the 80 Hz mode actually gets a lot more hiss, and that's just a little bit weird considering that that's not exactly what it's meant for. And that's essentially it for all of my complaints, and that's been my review. It's a great kit, and it's not super cheap, but to me was well worth the money. And it does come with pretty much everything you need to use it, and I'm very satisfied with the sounds, even if I still never got around that hissing issue, at the very least not entirely. And with that in mind, especially if you're someone who's very knowledgeable on the subject, I definitely recommend this because there are workarounds, I'm sure. And if you're not so savvy with it, I'd still get it because some of the hissing isn't really so bad, and especially if you have background music like I always do, it's pretty hard to actually hear. I just love how it makes my voice sound, and this will be my audio solution for a good while. With that said, highly recommend it. And if you're interested in purchasing this kit, then I will be making sure to leave affiliate links for Amazon down in the description. So if you end up using any of my links and make a purchase, then I do get a small commission that does help me run things just a little bit more smoothly around here. So if you were to use any of those, I would appreciate that quite a bit. And also, if you like me enough, then do make sure to follow me on Twitch, where I like to stream every Friday and Saturday, Final Fantasy XIV, and it's usually a pretty chill and relaxing stream. So, and if that is something that interests you, then do make sure to stop by. And do make sure to also follow me on both Instagram and Twitter if you would like to stay up to date with any of the Tech Summit endeavors. With that said, this has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you for watching, and I will be seeing you all later. Enjoy!